Somebody asked if they are too old to do sadhana. Well, the short answer is begin doing sadhana practice at any age. At least start somewhere. Spiritual practices are, in most cases, done lifetime after lifetime. So it is never too late to improve one's state of being. Whatever you do, that thread of your effort will continue. And starting now only adds on to your journey, your punya, your merit, your subtle progress. Even a few days of genuine sadhana can carry over into lifetimes. And yes, all practices and path cannot always be done by everyone for various reasons. Be it functional variation, be it fear, be it duties, family, or even type of one's sanskar or experiences or associations. But usually it is best to do as much as possible in the path of sadhana that is resonating with you. This will only improve the merit and it will also improve your current life. So it's good to not exclude yourself beforehand and do not judge yourself as unfit. That kind of decision itself is a veiled ego of self-rejection. Surely when one is young, the mind is more receptive. When one is young, one is ready to accept new ideas and ready to make big changes in one's lifestyle. And as one ages, usually it becomes more difficult. One has already gone through a lot of ups and downs in life by the time one turns old or older. And by that time one has already kind of figured through experience what works best for them and what doesn't. Or at least to an extent one becomes comfortable in one's ways or one's set ways. And unless there is a big shock in life, a tragedy, a disease, death of a loved one, or some positive shock as well, sometimes a realization of impermanence or spontaneous urge, a desire to do sadhana, or it could simply be something that breaks the bubble one has created for oneself, and that breaks the inertia and one reevaluates one's life. So if you are resistant to change, it doesn't really matter if you are old or young. You will struggle to adapt to spiritual practice if you are resistant to change. Or one needs an open mind and heart for change if one wants to make meaningful change in life. We have seen young people with rigid minds, unwilling to try anything outside their comfort zone, holding on to their preferences and patterns as if their whole entire identity depended on them. And on the other hand, we have also seen elders past their 60s or even 70s who begin fresh and with such humility, such eagerness, as if they just have discovered water after a long drought. So, if you are open-hearted and open-minded, willing to receive, willing to listen, and ready to make change, then you can begin sadhana at any age. The real factor is not the number of years your body have gone through, but the freshness of your approach. If that freshness is there, then the divinity responds. Grace flows. One step towards the path opens many doors, and we have seen it time and again. Those who carry the lightness of curiosity, the courage to change, and a trust in the path, they progress, regardless of the age. This is the real truth. Patrata or spiritual eligibility is not at all about age, it is about readiness. And yes, the other factor surely is the energy level. And the modern society, or to a large extent any society, is structured in a way that most people in their prime of their lives, when they have most of energy, focus on building a family, focus on building a business or earning money by selling their time and such. Now in the midst of all that, they do not have time to do sadhana, or one can always make time. So in the end, it's about them not prioritizing sadhana. And by the time they retire, they have the time then. They have all the time after retirement. But the battery is down. Their internal energy level is down. The Shakti is diminished. The prana is on withering away. That's because they have spent their energy, the Shakti in their prime of their life in other pursuits, and especially the pursuits that drains their battery. Pursuits that make them feel tired, disconnected, and that depletes the prana rather than some pursuit that nourishes the prana. And post-retirement, those jobs are gone, those businesses are gone, so engagements are done. So all the goals and ambitions, what happens to them? What about them then? After retirement, then there is a hollow. And in that space, one realizes the temporary nature of the worldly pursuits. If one is lucky. Now, worldly pursuits are not bad in themselves. If one is having a balance of what we call as Bhog or indulgences, at the same time as Moksha or Sadhana to liberate the mind, then life is more complete in nature. But simply indulging in indulgences and Bhog burdens the soul and it weighs it down. So a life spent in temporary pursuits of family, jobs, pleasures and joys, titillations, only then ends up creating a space post-retirement. And that is a good thing to have that space. Because in earlier times we had a social arrangement that supported it. We had earlier, when a person is born, then first 25 years, sort of, roughly, was spent in studies, education, brahmacharya, focusing mostly on studies. Then came the householder duties or the grihast for the next 25 years, from the age 25 to 50, roughly. Then after 50, if one has led a balanced life, one automatically reaches the third stage of Vanaprastha. This third stage is where one goes to do Seva to a guru, live close to a guru, away from worldly attachments and activities. Kings donated their kingdoms to gurus at this stage. Doing Seva helps build merit, Punya. If one has accumulated wealth, more than they need, or their children or their descendant need for a comfortable life, then one donates land, one donates money to build that merit, and by doing that one works out karma as well, and all of that helps in developing in sadhana practices. And if one is able-bodied, one also offers physical seva, physical service by doing the chores at the Guru's place or for Guru. Seva can be of many kinds, this service, whatever creation power one has, physical, mental, wealth power, power of time, power of creative arts, anything that has creative potential left, that is offered to an extent to Gurus so that it can be used for spiritual purposes that Gurus see fit. And that in turn build your merit and Punya. Giving Daan or Seva never diminishes. It invariably comes back in many folds. By renouncing the throne, by donating the wealth and time, by going to live in an ashram or forest hermitage of a wise guru, with the purpose of hoping that it will cultivate a renunciation of mind. And when that happens, one realizes the true self before death, and that is a natural progression of life. Now there is some very deep dharma process or natural order of human life in this process of sadhana in old age. One can look at stories of great beings like Maharishi Vashisht, Dattatreyaji, Bhagirath, or even modern day Siddhas. You will find many took deeper sadhana, much deeper sadhanas in later years with more maturity, more vairagya, renunciation, and more clarity. So definitely age is not a barrier. Only inner resistance is the barrier. Yes, certain Tantra sadhana do require more energy, maybe more physical well-being. Some kriyas, some rituals may demand physical movement or retention and endurance. But apart from that, there are also thousands of subtle, powerful internal sadhanas that can be done while sitting, chanting, visualizing, and using the whole mind-body breath axis. And of course, there are old people who are physically fit and have good energy. And if such old people also have open mind and heart to make positive change in their lifestyle, then even elaborate Tantra sadhana can be done at any age. If anything, the earnestness, the urgency, the longing for truth often grows with age. One has seen through glitter by that time in old age, and one is satiated by that, and then one wants the real nectar. And in Tantra, that longing is the fire that begins the inner alchemy. So begin wherever you are, begin now. It is not too late. It is just the right time now.